So our today's topic is, the condition of trade. Yeah, very, very, very important topic. Yeah, now we are in practices, Aqidah. Yeah, there's some aspects in our syllabus, they are about the Aqidah, belief and doctrine. And this is, the practice, the dealing, yeah, the conduct, our social life, public life. Okay, so there was a knowledge-based question, AO1. A mean assessment, O mean objective, number one. Assessment objective number one means the knowledge-based question. So here they will, assess your knowledge about the topic. And this question is of, 10 marks, obviously. And here you are expected to, to deliver your knowledge, your information about the conditions, the prerequisites, the necessary conditions for trade, for a valid contract. Yeah, in business transactions, commercial transaction in general. Yeah, so what are the conditions, necessary conditions required? So they must be based on the Quran and Sunnah and juristic interpretations. Yeah, so these are the sources from where we we extract our rulings in general. Yeah, so in introduction, you would say that the Islam requires us that our trade and commercial transactions, they must be conducted in a manner that shows, that reflects fairness and transparency and moral responsibility. That is the ethical ground Islam necessitates. Islam asks us to consider a ethical ground, foundation for all, for our entire life, for our entire religious life. Got it? So what that ethical foundation, it can be summarized in some points like honesty or fairness, and we should not do the exploitation. So there is this moral responsibility here. Got it? So our dealings, they should not cause injustice. Yeah, and it should not it should not ends up in exploitation. Yeah, so we are not supposed to harm anybody, na? That's why that is called exploitation. किसी को एक्सप्लॉइट कर लेना, किसी से ना हक जो है उसकी वेल्थ जो है उसको ग्रैब कर लेना, छीन लेना. Yeah, he is maybe the person, he is naive. Yeah, he is so simple, and he is not cognizant of the people wickedness. Yeah, he don't know their tricks. Yeah, so if the person is naive, so we are not supposed to just exploit it. Yeah, अगर कोई किसी को समझ नहीं है, इतनी मैच्योरिटी नहीं है डीलिंग्स की या खरीदो फरोख्त की, तो आप उसके साथ कोई ऐसा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ना करें कि जिसमें उससे बहुत ज़्यादा आप फ़ायदा उठा लें. सो दिस एक्सप्लॉइटेशन, दिस इज़ हराम, दिस इज़ नॉट गुड. It should be within limits. So based on Quran and Sunnah and the early Muslim jurists interpretations, we lay down some conditions for the contracts to make them transparent, to make them fair. Got it? So that they don't give rise to injustice, uncertainty and exploitation. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah. So what are the basis, what are the foundations Quran laid down for us with regard to the contracts and dealings? So here you will find the chapter number 11 and verse number 85. Here Quran says that awfu al-mikyal wal-mizan, awfu al-mikyal wal-mizan wa la tabkhasu an-nasa ashya'ahum. Yeah, it means give a full measure, a just measure, and weight to the people. Awfu al-mikyal, awfu al-mizan. Yeah, so give people full measure, which is ought to do, which is ought to give. So full measure and full weight. So if you are giving 10 kg, so they must be 10 kg. If they are 4 yards, the cloth is 4 yard, then it must be 4 yard, not less than that. Yeah. And Allah said in the second part of the verse, وَلَا تَبْخَسُوا النَّاسَ أَشْيَاءَهُم, and do not deprive people of what which is their due, what is their right. Yeah, so do not deprive them just on the basis that they are naive enough that they don't understand your wickedness, your vice, so you do the cheating, yeah, and betrayal. Okay, so Allah said, na, he is naive, he don't know, but so you should be self conscious about this thing, the fairness. Okay, do not deprive. वला तबखसु अन्नासा अशियाअहुम, उनको जो चीज़ आप दे रहे हो उसमें कुछ कमी ना करो, कुछ ट्रिक करके उसके अंदर कमी ना करो. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the main verse here. أوفوا المكيال والميزان ولا تبخسوا الناس أشياءهم. And you also can refer to another hadith. You know, you can quote this verse or any other verse which is included in your syllabus. If there is any relevant, verse you find now, then you can quote it here. No problem with that. It must be pertaining to the justice, yeah, and honesty. And it must reject the exploitation and persecution. So in general, any verse that signifies these things, you can quote it here. So another verse you can quote, chapter 2 and the verse number 282. So in that verse, Allah also laid down another condition. Allah mentioned another rule, another condition for a valid contract. So what is that? So Allah said, whenever إِذَا تَدَايَنْتُمْ بِدَيْنٍ إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ مُسَمَّى. That is the most longest verse, for your knowledge. FYI, it is just a longest verse in the Quran. إِذَا تَدَايَنْتُمْ بِدَيْنٍ إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ مُسَمَّى. It means whenever you do a deferred payment contract, mean any contract where the payment is deferred, it is just put off, that you pay later. So this is called deferred payment contract. ये पैसे बाद में दूंगा, अभी जो है वो मुझे आप दे दो, गाड़ी दे दो, पैसे आपको जो है इसकी पेमेंट जो है मैं 1 मंथ के बाद दूंगा. इसको कहते हैं दैन, in Arabic दैन, and in English you can say deferred payment contract. So Allah says, एक तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता है ना कि आप प्राइस दे रहे हैं और एक हाथ से प्राइस दे रहे हैं और दूसरे हाथ से जो सोल्ड आइटम है आप उसको रिसीव कर रहे हो, उसको टेक ओवर कर रहे हो. दैट इज सिंपल एंड ईजी एंड अंडरस्टैंडेबल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. देयर इज नो इशू, देयर इज नो एम्बिग्विटी, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम विद दैट. बट प्रॉब्लम विद द इशू कम्स with the sale where something is not present at the moment. For example, the price or the sold item, it is not there and you are just purchasing it. Got it? तो यहाँ पे क्या है, ambiguity है, maybe in the price or there is vagueness in the sold item. It could be in any of these two. तो अगर कोई vagueness है तो Allah said in that verse, إِذَا تَدَايَنْتُمْ بِدَيْنٍ, when you make a contract on deferred payment, when you do a deferred payment contract, then make a record that in writing. And also, if you don't know, the writing, if you are illiterate person, then وَلْيَكْتُبْ بَيْنَكُمْ كَاتِبٌ بِالْعَدْلِ, then you should appoint a trustworthy scribe. Just hire anybody, any advocate, any lawyer who knows the legal matters. Yeah, just hire that attorney and he will write down the contract, properly. Yeah, but it is important. So that is a condition. That is another condition Quran, tells us in the matter of contracts. But specific contracts, not all the contracts. It is recommended for all the contracts to record them in writing. Yeah, there must be a paper, legal paper, and then I sold this and that item with this and that price, and they both parties they put their signatures on that form. Yeah, but it is recommended. If you don't do this, it is also okay, and the contract is valid without that. But when it comes to the deferred payment contracts, then it is compulsory. या तो उस वक्त आपको लिखना पड़ेगा, उसकी टेस्टिमोनी होनी चाहिए, उसके विटनेस होने चाहिए जो उसको विटनेस करें कि वाकई इसने इतने पैसों के बदले ये सेल परचेज हुई है. Okay, so these are the two verses you can quote here. The one verse relates to the general commandment of fairness and honesty. Yeah, وَلَا تَبْخَسُوا النَّاسَ أَشْيَاءَهُم. And the second verse is very specific and particular about the contracts, like the late payment contracts. You can say late payment contracts.